All right, y'all, welcome back to another video. Now today we're coming to you and I'm gonna show you what my Yard Mastery app is showing me, and I'm gonna actually make the applications based on the recommendations of the app. You know, I have this great app and I really don't put a lot of content on this channel about it, but I'm gonna do that now and throughout this year because the app is super helpful, gives you a free plan on what to put down and when based on soil temps. And I'm in Bradenton, Florida, considered Southwest Florida, so our soil temps really, they never get below 60. I mean, I think we're at 59 right now going through this cold spell. So basically I have apps ready to go. And if you live in South Florida, South Texas, maybe some parts of the Gulf Coast, you got to check your app, check under the calendar section and look, and you'll see based on historical soil temperatures when you should start. And some of you might even have apps now on your homepage. So with that, this is a warm season plan that I'm on. And so the first things that I'm recommended are Stress Blend, Prodiamine, Pre-emergent, which stops crabgrass and other weeds, and then a couple biostimulants. I don't know if we'll get to the biostimulants today, but the two most important things are the Stress Blend and the Prodiamine. Real quick, just so you know, you also need to measure your lawn, and you can do that in the app because we're going to talk about size of the lawn. We're going to talk about breaking it down into sections because that's really the best way to take care of your lawn, is to break it down into manageable sections. And today we're going to start with a 1,000 square foot area, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to apply fertilizer using a hand spreader because I want to do things for beginners, right? This is the easiest way to get started. And I'm even going to show you how to do a 2,000 square foot section using the hand spreader. Now in another video coming up, I'll show you how to do a push spreader, but I figured we'd do hand spreader first, be something nice and easy. One other thing real quick, Prodiamine can go down on a dormant lawn. If you're getting recommendations in the app and it's saying time for Prodiamine, that can go on a dormant lawn because this is pre-emergent herbicide to stop crabgrass. We need to get it down quick. And if your soil temperatures are there, your ground isn't frozen, you can apply Prodiamine. If you're dormant, the app doesn't know your lawn is dormant, it just knows soil temps. If you're dormant and it's recommending Stress Blend, just hold off, just let it sit there. The app will just keep updating. And whenever you start mowing, you can apply Stress Blend. Again, here in Bradenton, Florida, I'm mowing, I'm growing, so I'm gonna put them both down today, and you can do that. 2 separate applications, same day, water it all in together. So with that, let's start with the Stress Blend. All right, so this is the section that we're gonna be doing. It starts right over here at the edge of my flower bed there, tree bed, and then it goes through here. This is a 1,000 square foot area. And again, I measured this in the app. It's a little bit of an odd shape, which again, you can measure this by hand, but this is where the app comes in and helps you because these odd shapes, you can put things around perfect. So this is the spot we're doing, 1,000 square feet. That's very important to remember that. Okay, so we're gonna start with Stress Blend. So this is an 18-pound bag. This is a 7020, 7% nitrogen, 20% potassium, perfect for stress. That's what potassium does, helps lawns in stress, and it's very stressful for your warm season lawn coming out of winter, trust me. I'll put up the growth curve. You can see the growth habit, the growth nature of warm season turf. So you can see summer is really where it's raging, so we don't wanna hammer it too hard with nitrogen here in the spring. We just wanna get it going and wake it up nice and slow. Now, with that, we have an 18-pound bag, and the application rate is 3 pounds per thousand. The way I know that is it says right here, it covers 6,000 square feet. So 18 pounds divided by 6 is 3. If you want to get some training, I have a training that I did. It's a video training. It's called Yard Care Boot Camp. I'll give you a link to it. It's only $7, okay? And it will give you all of the training you need. So if you're somebody that's just starting out, or maybe you've started and failed and been frustrated, I promise you, get Yard Care Boot Camp. It'll open up so many windows of understanding for you. It explains the why behind the recommendations. Lots of good stuff there. So definitely check that out. Now, the next thing we want to do then is we have a 1,000 square foot area, and our rate is 3 pounds of this product for every 1,000 square feet. That's called the rate. So we're going to measure out 3 pounds because we have a 1,000 square foot area. And that's why this is great. And by the way, my total lawn is almost 8,000, like 7,700 total, but I have it broken into small sections so I can do the whole thing with this. Now I do use a push spreader sometimes, but sometimes this is just a lot easier and a lot more convenient. So I've got a scale here, and that's another thing. Every one of you that does any lawn care, you should get a scale. Some of you might have one from your college days when you did other nefarious activities. That scale would work fine too. But I'll give you a link to one. You can get a cheap one off of Amazon. Just make sure that it goes down to the 10th power, 100th power on grams if you can. Anyway, I'll give you a link. So I'm gonna put this container on here and then get rid of that weight. So now we're zeroed out, and I'm gonna put 3 pounds of this product into the container there. Give this a little better cut here to make it cleaner. When you're cutting with a knife, always cut towards yourself, especially that way, you know? Keep things nice and safe. Oh, look at that, wow. I need to sharpen this. Okay, so 3 pounds going in. Now this little spreader actually holds 4 pounds, so that's cool, but what we want to see is what does 3 pounds look like? All right, I went a little bit over. what we're doing is we're working on visuals here. I over poured. So, all right, knock a little bit out there. There we go, 3 pounds. Okay, so now we're gonna put this in here. And again, this holds up to 4 pounds, but we don't need that much. We just need 3 for 1,000 square feet here. Okay, so I emptied it out real quick. One thing I want to show you, people always ask about the settings on this, because this is different than using a push spreader. So you have the gauge right there for the settings. So that's the lowest setting, and when you see I open this up, it hardly opens up at all, like almost nothing of an opening there. But when I crank it all the way, then I get a pretty decent opening. So as far as what I do with the fertilizer is I open it up all the way. Because with a hand spreader, you're gonna see as you're going, you have perfect line of sight here. You're gonna go more by feel because you can see the product going down, you can see it going out, you can see the spread pattern. Everything is the ultimate because you're right above it. So you're gonna go by feel more than by settings. So just crank it all the way up and then you'll just adjust your walk speed as you'll go. This is one of those things that you just pick up on automatically as you do it. Like your rhythm and your gangster, it just kind of knows, oh yeah, this is the right walking speed. I feel good, I'm getting it down, and you'll see, boom, you get a good application. So, all right, let me fill this back up and show you what I'm talking about. So what does that look like? By the way, you only have to do all of this one time, okay? So there you go. You can see what 3 pounds looks like in there. As long as you remember that, you don't have to do any of this weighing again, just 3 pounds. And so you can kind of see it's almost to the edge. It's a little bit under the lip. That's 3 pounds. So I've done that once. Now I'm good to go. I can go and put this down on the lawn using this hand spreader. So let's go and do that next. All right, now you can see that I'm locked and loaded. This is enough for 1,000 square feet, 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. Now I can kind of visualize it, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just looking, all right, I got that. I can feel the weight in my hand. I'm using all my senses to understand how am I gonna execute getting this across there, right? So I'm gonna start over here. That's my neighbors over there. I don't know if you can see the domination line because of the glare, but that's what we care about most. But really what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do just a little trim pass. So I'm just gonna go right up this edge and I'm gonna go up and back and up and back, okay? And I'm gonna put this out evenly as I go. So here we go. Now I can see, I'll be able to see the spread pattern, where it goes, how far, all that. So here we go. So I can see it's going right over to the edge, right where I want it to go. All right, so I come up to the end. Now I turn around, and now that I've seen my spread pattern, I'm gonna throw back to my foot tracks. That's the idea. So the overlap is throwing back to my foot tracks. Now I can see them here. You're not gonna be able to see them on the camera, but I can see them here. So now I'm just gonna back up in here and go. Throw them back to my foot tracks. Get to the end of my run, stop. Same thing, going back, throw them back to my foot tracks. One more time, and I'll be halfway done. So I'm gonna go back down one more time, and that should be halfway, and then we'll take a look at where we're at. Okay, so let's come up close. There we can see. That looks like pretty much half to me. And again, this is where you use your senses. I felt the weight come off. I can feel that it feels about half that way. I've been watching it, everything looks good. I'm in good shape. Now again, I'm only risking 1,000 square foot here. So if you mess up, if you got to this point and it was all gone because you walked too slow, you're not gonna hurt anything. It's one little spot. This isn't gonna burn, nothing like that. But go back to where I was. I know that I'm on a good track based on what this looks like. And here we go. Throw them back to my foot tracks. One more time. A couple more times, actually. Okay. Gotta go around here. Catch that. Okay, a little bit left, and I got one little pass left here down the edge. All right, so how did I do? I got a tiny bit left over, see, whoops. So not everybody's perfect at this, but I got just a little bit left over. Is that gonna change anything here? Not at all, it's just that little bit. So I'm just gonna actually put that right along the edges, because when you're doing this, the edges are typically where you're not going to get as good a coverage with this. So I'm just going to put this along the edges, especially that domination line, that little bit left over there. There we go. All said, all done, all good. A little bit left. All right, that's simple. All right, now next we're gonna do the Prodiamine. We're gonna do the same section. We're gonna do the Prodiamine. Now this is a pre-emergent herbicide, and you'll see I got PPE on now, and I'm even gonna wear a dust mask. And that's just because this is up nearer to your face when you're using it. When you use a push spreader, it's way down there. You don't have to worry about it, but I'm gonna use it. But this, you're gonna find it's gonna be exactly the same. Everything that I sell, granular wise, that's got the Yard Mastery name on it, goes down at 3 pounds per 1,000 square feet. This is an 18-pound bag, by the way. We never used to have small bags like this for Prodiamine. And so when we were able to get a new supplier, we were able to get this smaller bag, which is great for small lawns. So I'm gonna go ahead and just weigh it out and show you, but you wouldn't have to do that because it's all gonna work the same. By the way, all the Yard Mastery fertilizers, once you've done this one time, now you'll know that 3 pounds just kind of fills up to that edge. They all work the same. They all have the same prill size, go down at the same rates. But I'm gonna go ahead and measure it out for you just so you can see. Anyway, so same thing, we're gonna turn on our scale. You'll see it's gonna look exactly the same. Put that on, take the weight off, pour in our 3 pounds. And again, I'm wearing all this PPE. I don't want this to scare you. This is just how it works. This is just what you're supposed to do. So, all right, let's get to the 3 pound mark. And okay, there we are. So we got 3 pounds in there. Now watch, I'm gonna put it in this spreader and it's gonna fill up exactly the same. It's gonna be to the exact same level line that the granular fertilizer was. There we go. And that's how you know it goes all down at the same rates. So now we can go and take this 3 pounds and put it down on that same lawn right on top of what we just did. All right, so here we are. Now I'm gonna do the exact same thing I just did. And now I've got practice, right? I've already made one application. So anything that I did wrong in the last one, it's very easily correctable on the second one. And after you do 2 apps, you're pretty much a professional, I promise you. So here we go. Going right down this domination line. Okay, now what I'm gonna show you, because that was simple, right? A 1,000 square foot area, 3 pounds per thousand, it's easy. This is a bigger area. This is 2,000 square feet. And again, I measured this in the app. So now I'm gonna show you how do you use that hand spreader to do a 2,000 square foot area when it only holds 1,000 square foot at a time, right? So I'm gonna show you how we do that next. So let's go ahead and start with the stress blend. Now, I've already weighed out one time and I already know what it looks like, so I don't have to weigh anymore. In fact, you really don't need to weigh anymore at all for the rest of the season once you've done that. So I'm just gonna pour it up to that same line where it was before that I knew 3 pounds went to. Eyeballing is just fine. All right, a little bit more. For good measure, there we go. All right, now this will cover 1,000 square foot of my 2,000 square foot area. And so you're gonna wanna get some kind of a little flag or something to use as a marker. Let's go. All right, so you can probably visualize this is gonna do half of the area here. So I've got a long way I could walk, or I got a short way. Since I'm gonna be stopping halfway, to go the long way, it's not as logical. It's easier to just take these short runs, right? And then get halfway, refill, and then do the other half. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the shortest run I have on this section, and it's gonna start right here. So we're gonna do this edge first. Here we go. Throwing back to my foot marks. So you've already done a couple laps, so you already have a feel of how this flows, how fast it goes. That's what I mean. You kind of become a professional with your own equipment really fast. You'd be surprised how quick you do. You learn it. Got enough for one more pass here. All right, there we go. So now, that's where I stopped. Oh, I lost my flag. It fell out of my pocket. All right, we're gonna put that right there and find my flag. So now we're gonna put this flag right where my foot marks were, because remember, that's what I always use to throw back to. Okay, so now I know when I come back, I got that half of the lawn left, and I'm gonna start right here throwing back to that mark. So let's go fill up again. Again, we're just gonna fill up to our line that we know is already good and solid at 3 pounds. There we go, let's roll. All right, so there's my flag right there. So I'm just gonna start just a couple feet over, and that's all it takes. This only throws 2 feet to each side really. So here we go. All right, same thing with Prodiamine. No need to measure again because you saw the visual aid that you use. So we're just gonna get that in there. All right, looks good. Let's go do it. All right, now the nice thing is I've already got it partitioned off, right? Because I already did an app here. So I know that this first bucket full will get me to where that flag is. Nice visual reference. With that, let's go do it. All right, that was pretty close right there. So I'll go fill up again and do the other half. All right, so that's it for the granular applications. Now, you want to blow off your driveways and sidewalks to avoid staining. That's very important. So blow those off immediately. And then this needs to be watered in. The fertilizer can sit, but the Prodiamine needs to be watered in with a 1/2 inch of water. And you want to do that within 48 hours because the sun can degrade it. So that's the next thing. Now, the biostimulants would come next, and I could put these right on top, but I'm going to wait. But real quick, and these are optional, but I'm gonna do these a little bit later down the line. I will link to a video below to show you how to put them down. But the humic I would do first. RGS I would only put on if the lawn is growing, but humic can go on a dormant lawn. But again, we'll do these in another video. But I wanted to show you, what does the after look like with Stress Blend, before and after? Well, we did the backyard 10 days ago with Stress Blend, so I can kind of show you how that looks now, and you can see the results that you can expect in your lawn. All right, so here we are in the backyard. Now, if you didn't see the video I did, I'll link to it below. And this had Stress Blend. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see much of a difference. Sun angles are so different and everything, but I can definitely see it's definitely greener. And then we also are starting to get some weed control, but not much. If you guys remember, we used glyphosate on this because this is Provista St. Augustine. I don't want to confuse anybody with that. People that have Provista know what Provista is. We're getting a little bit of weed control, but not very much. And again, that's because it's cold. So anyway, there you go. There's kind of the after. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll see my lawn get greener and greener and greener throughout the year as these steps keep going. But there you go. I hope this video has been helpful to you. Leave your comments and questions below. And with that, I'll see you in the lawn.